Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go because we have to talk about some very interesting things here. We are going to talk about, obviously, Bitcoin and approaching the halving. There is much to talk about, but we're also going to talk a little bit about Solana today, which is kind of interesting as well for all of you that are holding Solana. And then we're going obviously to the drop cascade that is coming up, or at least to the brands that are coming up for Ecomi and Veve. So all of that packed in today's stream. So where's my cam? There's my cam. Very good. Good morning, good morning, good morning to every one of you. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Are you excited as well? Because it is about 10, 11 days until the Bitcoin halving. So that is really good. And right next to me, we have a new rare hodler. Gaming evolved. I just called him gaming because otherwise there's really no space anymore here for more rare hodlers. So the next one that is going to subscribe as a channel member here is going to cause me some reshuffle problems so that I can fit one more on this screen, or I have to open a second screen or something like that. But I really didn't think that when I started this all that it would come to this point. So that definitely that definitely is crazy. And we'll for the new member, we're going to put this over pro legendary. He probably doesn't mind, and about over Chris. But yeah, gaming number 34 of the rare hodlers. Welcome to the fam, and please get in touch with me to be able to access the rare hodler group. I can send you the link. Exclusive Telegram group for all of those who are channel members. And then we're going to talk. Very nice, very nice. Let's see, you guys in the chat are excited as well. Pasternak said he's the first. Nice one. He was really a first. Straight out of my bed says, good morning, PH. Hey, good morning, what's up? James Nguyen, hello. Justin, is crypto coming back? From what? Yeah, I mean, it's pretty back already. I mean, coming back from what? From this dip? Absolutely. We are going to talk about this. Straight out of my bed says, anyone see Stormtroopers? Loman Mick has almost 800 now. Yes, I saw that. And he says he buys every Stormtrooper below 17 gems. Well, he wants to own them all, apparently. Hey fam from Fun Under the Sun. Let's go. Okay, enough people here, 15 people here. So smash up the like button right now. Make sure to pump the stream out to each and every one, and let's dive into what we have today. So according to Nice Hash here, the Bitcoin halving is coming up in only 10 days and 8 hours. Now this is fluctuating, obviously, but according to this would be already the 18th of April at 2:30 UTC, more or less. According to CoinMarketCap, it's 1 day more. So not everything is super accurate, but there and thereabout. So it seems to be that in the end, it might not be the 420, okay, which would be sad because it would be super funny with going with a 69k Bitcoin into the day 420, right? I mean, the memes would be pretty big, but maybe it doesn't happen. So if it comes a little bit earlier, I personally wouldn't be sad. Let's look at Bitcoin here. So if you remember last week's stream, I think on Thursday was the last stream. You remember that we have outlined this already. I think it was here, and it has completely respected this chart pattern. So there's really no reason why there should have been any stream or update on this, because there wasn't. It's just moving in this. The target is still the same. And yeah, we have this. I have to refresh again because that doesn't really let me draw. now it does. There you go. Okay, so we have our Bitcoin price moving in this symmetrical triangle, I would say. I mean, some people are saying it's a bear flag, but if it's a bull flag, sorry. Some people are saying it's a bull flag, but if it's a bull flag, then there is a little bit of other targets coming out, right? I mean, that would be, I think for bull flag, I'm not quite sure, but I think then you have to take something like this, like the flag pole, which would be probably like this, and then put this as a breakout target or something like that, and then you're like, okay, 105, what is that, 105k Bitcoin? I mean, you could argue that this is realistic, but let's just go with the symmetrical triangle theory first, which would give us a new price target of 82k once we break out. And today could be the day. Today could be the day that this breaks out, because I mean, the US market is not open yet. The European market is about to open in a couple of minutes. So if the ETFs are buying and there is nothing to sell, then this could be something. We're going to see this also here. These are the sell orders on the order book on Coinbase, so the most relevant exchange right now. The Bitcoin, I mean, I'm not saying with the markets opening that I know that Bitcoin can be traded at any time, right? But I'm saying that ETFs are not traded 24/7 if I'm informed correctly, and also that most institutional and Wall Street traders are not active outside of these times. But so here we see order book very thin, no sell wall to speak of, less than 1,000 BTC on Coinbase to $75,000 upwards. Smiles for Miles says, Omi news please bro. Yep, as always, after the Bitcoin and the crypto. Every stream is like that. So Omi news, more of Veve news than Omi news, by the way. Hey, Warus King says, hey mate, Chago Solis is here, yo PH, what's going on? Nice. So 20 people here. Smash the like button. You invited 5 more, so let's get 5 more. Okay, so I want to discuss this because I saw this many times here for Bitcoin. And this is the Bitcoin long-term, short-term holder supply ratio. So the most famous YouTubers are making videos about this. Why? Because it's always when the turnaround comes on this chart. I'll get myself out of the way so we really have the full chart. Until here it should be fine. There we go. So every time this turned around, it was the Bitcoin top, right? So it dropped, turns around, Bitcoin has topped out already. So once it turns around, as some of these people say, run for your lives, right? So this is the ratio of long-term to short-term holders. Now the only thing is, the only thing here is that this is still falling, yes, and probably there's way more room to fall, so we are not at the top yet. But the other thing is that we have a new situation compared to all of these others here, and that is that the quantity, like the drawdown, is influenced by GBTC selling. Because GBTC is a long-term holder, because they had their trust with 30 billion worth of Bitcoin in it. And all the other ETFs that are scooping that up are short-term holders by definition, because they do not, they just started holding Bitcoin since January. So what you really have is that GBTC selling as a long-term holder, selling to 9 ETFs as short-term holders, and ETFs are not only using one wallet, they're using like, I don't know, several wallets, right? So some of these indicators can shift because of that. Especially if we're looking at new users and so on. On the other hand, for example, if you look at Bitcoin adoption rate and you look at wallets like the number of wallets going up, you can also not derive anymore how many people are really invested in Bitcoin, because if 20,000 people buy via Fidelity, they're still not as new wallets, not new users listed in these charts. So there is a little bit of a difficulty to deal with these indicators here. Some of these will maybe not be accurate anymore, and we need a new viewpoint on them. So that can definitely happen. Green Lantern is here. GM hit it. Absolutely. Let's go. Okay, second one that is super interesting from a statistics standpoint here is from TechDev, the Bollinger Bands. And we have now closed our second candle outside of the Bollinger Bands. And that usually led to a very sharp increase in price once that happened. Maybe it didn't lead to it, but usually whatever caused this also caused a sharp increase in price. So we see here we have our first and then our second. So the number is always under the candle that is meant. The first and the second both closes above Bollinger Bands, and also after the compression, right, that we discussed before, and then 200% increase in 1 month, and here 94 in 2 months, and here 105 in 3 months. So maybe we'll get like 100% in 4 months, maybe. We're especially and right now at this point where we have 2 closes above the Bollinger Bands. And usually, as you see here on all of these, this is a sharp increase on the edge of, or on the outline, stretching the Bollinger Bands to stretch out, to go from compression into extension, basically. So we have a compression, extension. Technically, you could just trade, or you could long-term buy and sell based on these Bollinger Bands with a more or less accuracy, right? You can say, oh, I touched the bottom of these things, like the bottom Bollinger Band, I buy, and then I'll go with a run up. It's not like that. Like, you cannot sell the top touch, right? But you have to run up, and then you need some other indicators. But every time we drop below the middle line, you're in a bear market. Here we touch the bottom line. Here we didn't touch the bottom line, so we would never buy. But yeah, basically very interesting stuff to look at, in my opinion, as well. This we had already. Just checking if I didn't miss anything. No, I didn't. No, there we go. This week is going to be interesting because Wednesday we have basically CPI inflation data for March, which is going to be interesting, and we are going to have the Fed meeting minutes, so they could influence the price as well. And yeah, we've seen that, but also we're closer and closer to the halving, so that is definitely an influence. But these things will influence the markets overall. And then Thursday and Friday, some other stuff like initial jobless claims, which is important, and yeah, consumer sentiment and so on. So could be interesting to look at this stuff. Okay, let's talk about Solana, because I think that some of you are in Solana, some of you are up tremendously on Solana. Some made the right call and bought Solana at what, like $8 or so in the bear market. Now, this is titled Massive Sol Liquidation by FTX Estate nets nearly 2 billion. Okay, so this is a fear-inducing headline, because if we see liquidation, FTX, and then Solana in one headline, it seems to be, yeah, it seems to be bad, right? But it's actually not that bad. So what we're seeing is Galaxy Trading, Pantera Capital, Neptune Digital Assets have acquired nearly 2/3 of FTX's stake in Sol. By the way, this article is from like 2 days ago, so pretty new. And this is interesting. So they basically, these companies, they bought most of the Solana stack, like over half of it, at a 63% discount. So they got it like for $64 a token. So 30 million Solana was sold, because FTX was an early investor in Solana, and they had an overall stack of 41 million Solana tokens. And this is important now, because if people are like panicking about this, these 41 million SOL tokens are subject to a 4-year vesting schedule, meaning they cannot be traded in the market until the deadline passes. So that means all of that Solana, despite the 10-11 million that FTX yet has, they, or even the 41 million total, I think, are meant here, they are still locked up. They cannot be traded. According to what I see here, they cannot be traded during this vesting period. So it seems that it cannot be sold off in the bull market, but it is unclear from the article where this vesting period exactly started, but probably not going to hit the market in the next months. So yeah, Galaxy Trading from Mike Novogratz's Galaxy Digital raised 620 million to purchase SOL tokens from the FTX estate. Investing in the fund will incur a 1% management fee. So according to sources, the fund also seeks to generate returns for its investors from staking. So this is going to be also interesting if this happens. James says, Green Lantern or Flash, which hero is cooler? I think Green Lantern will have something to say about this. Chris Thomas says, morning chaps, what's going on? 30 people here. See, it works with the likes, so continue to smashing these likes. I have something interesting to show to you, because let's just refresh. Bitcoin dominance, okay? Okay, so Bitcoin dominance, look at that. Bitcoin dominance has broken out of this resistance, so to say. What is this resistance? It's a weekly resistance, and found retest on this downward sloping trend line. It looks like this on a weekly. I know the week still has 6 days, but look at that. It's breaking. We had some breakouts that did not close. But this time, if you are very serious about it, by the way, this is more accurate like this, more or less like this. We have a weekly close above, and we are continuing with the week in green. So Bitcoin dominance seems to break out to the upside from this very long pattern, so to say, ascending triangle. So this is about 168-day ranging of Bitcoin dominance, and now it seems to break out. I mean, we see it today. Bitcoin is green and the rest of the altcoins is red, right? So it could be that this is the beginning of the halving, parabolic, whatever move breakout that we see. But definitely, once again, I told this before, I'm preaching this since, I don't know, I'm preaching this since a year. Or at least I'm preaching this since the beginning of this year, that we are not in an altcoin season. And some people disagreed, but I think they will wake up now to reality, that we have this breakout here to 54.55%. We are almost at a cycle high for Bitcoin dominance. This is no altcoin season. And actually, in my opinion, Bitcoin dominance going up is a good thing when it's Bitcoin season. Yeah, it is. Yeah, Bitcoin 70,000. Absolutely. Do we have any move right now? Okay, it says 69,751. So not quite 70,000 yet, but yeah. NFT Hero says get out of Sol down too much, I think. I mean, depends on where you bought it in the bear market. So I don't know, a couple of people that bought it in the bear market are up like 10x. Of course, you should take some profits, but Sol, for me, I don't own Sol because all of these outages were just not my thing. It was too much risk for me when I saw this to really go into that. So I have like a shard of Solana, like zero point 0.2 or so from some trade, right? But nothing substantial. 34432 US dollar ETH, Bitcoin 70 soon. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean the network. Get our sold down to my yeah. Exactly. So okay, you're saying the same as me, NFT Hero. Last 2 days you could not make any transactions. Yeah, exactly. That's absolutely my point. 100% agree with you. This network has way too many outages. So for me, look at VeChain for example. VeChain has no outage since 2018 or since the beginning of the mainnet, I think. Or even not the mainnet, the testnet, there's no outages at all. There are many other chains that have no outages, to be fair. Let's look at the altcoins quickly, how they are reacting. Let's refresh this also. So the altcoin market cap has shrinked a little bit, but I think what is important here is that we are forming a nice structure, something like this. Let's put this in yellow. Let's put this a little bit bigger. So like 3. Okay, so what can we see? Something like this. Okay, so I'd say altcoins are going to range as well. And they're further away from a breakout than Bitcoin, which makes absolute sense, right? So ideally, the altcoins are going to move a little bit or range a little bit more while Bitcoin breaks out. Yeah? While Bitcoin does the breakout here. So that then afterwards, these profits flow into the altcoins and we catch up. But I think it's only a matter of time. I mean, look how accurate the copy of the past performance, which is the blue one, is compared to this. I mean, yes, we are a little bit above the expectation, but kind of we move with it, right? So, yeah, here you go. I mean, doesn't this look promising still to you? It looks to me, certainly. Let's get rid of these ugly lines. There we go. Yeah, so I think we're at it. We're at this line, once again, this line, previous high. This is a big resistance. Both shoulders from the head and shoulders pattern are on that resistance line. We are at it. If and when we break it, we'll encounter the all-time high for altcoins. So altcoins still behind Bitcoin, roughly 50%. They are still behind because Bitcoin is at all-time high. Altcoins are not at all-time high collectively as a market cap. So I'd say there is still a little bit of time. Let's see. Also look to the time. Let's talk about Ecomi and Veve. Where's my Ecomi chart, by the way? I don't have my Ecomi chart. Where is it? Let's see. Let's go on Trading View. Let's go on Trading View. Let's go on Ecomi. Let's take the gate chart. Okay. Give me one second here. Okay. There we go. Good. Sorry for erasing the chat on the screen, but okay. Ecomi. Okay, so Ecomi really wants to go lower as expected. You see our whale hammers here. So this will keep up, and I would say that what we get is somewhere here. We get another whale event, right? Something like this, something like these wicks down here. I'd say we get one more whale event, and that is a drawdown of another 27% or so. We did lose this support here, so definitely now, in my opinion, it doesn't depend on any new exchange or whatever. We're still probably going, at least we're going into the zone, and probably, so what also John's Crypto, to give credit, John's Crypto Therapy and called this move. What's probably going to happen is that we'll trickle down into this range, the FUD intensifies, and then the whales will flash wick into this, right? And then a V-shaped recovery. And then something like that. Probably, like something like that. And then, hopefully, whales are done accumulating. Because then, hopefully, and this is, I mean, these are the weeklies, right? I mean, it doesn't have to take until then. This could happen very quickly, right? Because somewhere after the halving and with another altcoin pump, also Ecomi should get out of this range. Otherwise, it's going to be really ugly. Yeah. So there is not much for Ecomi that can move this at the moment. Only if OMI to NFT gets announced and it's a clean OMI to NFT or a very big US available exchange. That, in my opinion, is paramount for the development here of price. Otherwise, whales can, as you can see, if they want, draw down the price in every market situation, and they can, if they want, release and pump this price. But at the moment, it's absolutely up to the mercy of whales. So the predicted trajectory is this for Ecomi. So expect your Ecomi bags to perform bad over the next weeks. Not that this is something new, because this is 500 days of same range suffering, right? So here to where we are is 520 days. That's some serious hodling, and I hope it pays off. I mean, if we go back to, so my year's end prediction is a little bit below this resistance. Some people think that I'm crazy and that this is way too low of a target, but that would be an 11x from where we are right now. And if we would dump down here into the accumulation range, it would be even a 14x, roughly a 14x. So that could be something. If we come down to this level where I put this small whale here, that could be the reason for me to grab a million more or so. We will see. If I really do it, I don't know. By the way, how did you guys do on the black suit? I got a black suit, Spider-Man. I mean, it's slightly above retail, so maybe no reason for me to throw out 30k MCP points, but I did. With that, let's look at Veve. So that exactly, black suit sold out, and to celebrate the Spider-Man symbiote suit selling out, they are running a giveaway, which is cool, right? So you have to like and repost, and then reply with an AR photo of your favorite Veve digital collectible, and Veve collectible qualifies. So any Veve collectible qualifies, and you have to enter in the next 4 days. No, true, not true. Until tomorrow, 12 p.m. PT, Pacific time, 9th of April to get something. I don't know. They didn't even say what they are giving away, right? But yeah, could be an easy thing. A lot of people are posting their stuff. This looks cool, by the way. Crushed the yard there on the what is that, football stadium? Yeah, Raymond James Stadium. So that is a nice one. I like that. Anyways, big news. First news first. Okay, so this here, right? There is a trailer. A teaser, I would say. Okay. This teaser implies Wolverine, implies, I'd say, X-Men. We see right now there's a lot of hype. X-Men 97 went really fast on the comic market and is trading pretty high. So people are excited about this. They're speculating on what this could be. Like besides something with Wolverine, which is quite clear. Yeah. Jesus. Okay. Yeah, so this is what people think it is, right? Okay. This is the artist, by the way, that we saw on in Oxier, Jag. Um, yeah, I think it could be, but it could. I mean, this logo gets scratched and then it gets comicked up, right? So this is more implying to me that there is something like a comic. So I don't know if they meant this. So this was posted only 6 hours ago. A great piece by Chris Sievers and Richard Prince. What is that? Let's see here. Veve La Collectible Revolution. From A to X-Men is building bridges between the growing digital landscape and our physical collectibles habit. Okay. So this is a blog. Okay. So this is okay. This is Go Collect blog. Fine. There's no announcement, but this is good, right? So I also use Go Collect to check that out. Okay. So the reason why there could be a comic is first of all this 9.8 head, but on the other hand, there is a Wolverine comic in the background, and we know that David Hughes backgrounds usually come true. It's sometimes there is a long time between the background and the actual comic or the actual collectible in general, and sometimes not so much. So what we see here, for example, in this background is like I think some presidential stones or whatever. I don't know what that is. We see this Wolverine comic here. I don't know what that is in the very far like far right corner here, but I think there's some Ron English stuff here as well. There's some stuff that we already have on the app, like the Amazing Fantasy, which is probably more due to the content of the video, but it could be that we get the comic, right? So definitely this could be one of the things, right? And then with regards to a potential MCP, we're looking at this like this will be the MCP killer, says Charles Delgado. I might be using over 100k MCP to land Wolverine. I mean, even if you have a stack where you're generating 1000 MCP points, which not everyone has, this needs you 100 days to recover. So I think to land this drop, people will have to bid a minimum of 50k MCP to land. How much MCP do you think you will need to land this? Very good question, right? I think 50k may not. It depends on. Actually, you cannot say because it depends on scarcity, and it also depends if it's a comic and a collectible, or if it's only the collectible or only the comic. So we will see. Hopefully, we get an announcement there. So yeah, let's just refresh to see if there's nothing. I think there's no announcement to this. The only announcement that we have is that the drop for the Lamborghini, the next Lamborghini collection, is postponed to the 21st of April instead of the 14th. Now this is an interesting drop in my opinion because this should be the Lamborghini Aventador, in my opinion. Should be somewhat of an Aventador, but it has, yeah, it seems to be a newer model, like with the spoiler, and this front seems to be Lambo. I think it's a good idea to drop Lambo into potential post-halving pump. Maybe that's why they went to the 21st and not to the 14th of April. I mean, you know, right? When Moon and when Lambo, these memes, they will come back probably very soon. And if you have the official Lamborghini collectibles on your app, I hope that gives some kind of inflow, right? What else do we have? So this is a couple of days old already. I'm going to look at more of these in the future, but this is from Stacker. And so this is like how a regular non-drop days apparently looks on Veve. So $58,000 total transaction volume. So you can deduct from that, if this is the total volume, then you have roughly 5.8 thousand in secondary fees total, a little bit like 5.3 thousand, of which a couple of $1,000 go to Veve, couple of $1,000 go to different licensors. The biggest transaction was $4,500. Dollars, 6 transactions over 1k, and 90 mints from the store additionally. So this is additional, I think, to the transactions, but I'm not quite sure. So this is a very slow day. This is how a slow day looks. And yeah, this could be better, right? For Veve, definitely better, because probably that all doesn't pay the bills, but then again, you have a drop like the black suit that just rakes in 120k in a couple of seconds. With regards to the Wolverine drop, we have this teaser here, how do you unwind and so on, from Corey. It's a little bit like making you a little bit seasick. So he was apparently editing this stuff, right? Now look at what and where he's getting at. In the end, what he's selecting. Okay, this, right? The clause, the adamantium clause of Marvel and Lego. So I really hope we don't get only the claw in this drop, because people would be pissed. I mean, you could put it next to the gauntlet and it would be fine. The only way that this would be cool if we would get the claw would be if it was Lego as well, right? But yeah, we're very likely getting a Wolverine collectible, right? So yeah, it's happening. Wolverine, OMG, absolutely. And this is, I think people will battle with MCP over Wolverine. Many people like the Wolverine. Let's also check out the VVX tracker a little bit. So the daily net accumulation has actually had an uptick to 926 in the top 100. So that's a lot of collectibles, right? So we see a lot of transactions here. We see Bezos Man is kind of slow with 144 in a week. So did slow down a little bit, but we have someone else trying to get into the ranks of 10,000, which is this guy here. I'm going to scroll up so that you can see it. And then we need to put the chat down here. So there you see it. This guy bought 835 collectibles in 1 week until yesterday, and that's quite a bit. So there's only 1,000 more left, a little bit more, to get to be number 14 on and above 10,000. So to be number 14, actually not so much. So yeah, some people are just buying pretty good, right? Straight out of my vet says, which would you stack, Lambos or Stormtroopers? I'd say, if this is the question, pretty easy for me. I'd stack Lambo because the Stormtroopers is like 15,000, and there's no Lamborghini with that amount of vehicles. So scarcity is king, in my opinion. And some people disagree on this, but I think scarcity is king. We see also that others here, a lot of people have these accumulation numbers by minting, and that's probably coming from the comic side. So there are a lot of people excited still about the Veve comic side. There are new comics coming out in 2 days or so. Then there, right, and then there is the addiction comic in directly on the Veve app. But this is the biggest mover at the moment with 800. This year is the biggest mover. Secret rare comics are best. Why? Because they provide the best scarcity at the moment. So the new secret rare comics, obviously you don't buy whatever like side comic chain no one cares about. You want to buy some secret rares, and there are deals in the market from like Amazing Spider-Man, I don't know what issue, right? And you don't know what's going to be good and what's not going to be good. But I mean, in the future, I'd say Amazing Spider-Man series are good, Avengers are good, stuff like that, right? As a non-comic pro. There are currently 23,298 Lambos total from all versions. Yeah, from all versions, but that doesn't matter. The scarcity always matters for that specific collectible. You could also say, oh yeah, there are millions of comics on the Veve app, yet if you have an MC1, there are 600 of them, and they are still going for 5,000, even though there are other comics, other secret rares that are more scarce. What I'm very curious to see is what performs better in the bull market, 600 MC1s or 40 of a cool cover of Miles Morales or I don't know what. So this is going to be interesting. Motili says just 10 more subscribers and you'll have 4,000. That is true. So if you're not subscribed yet, then make sure to subscribe to the channel right now. This is also a good point where I say smash up the like button. 41 people here, so thank you all for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel with notifications on to never miss out on a video or live stream. And guys, I have to go, I have to jump, unfortunately. So wherever you are on the world, have